Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. GB Online Chat Show once again here on Saturday with the time just for our chat show, which is awesome. And man, weekend is always a good time to have a good chat with good guests. And today we have amazing guests. Today we're going to be talking master, our first master being interviewed and on the chat show. Master Nelson Monteiro. So I'm really looking forward to it. He's a guy full of energy, so many stories within our team with the jiu-jitsu around the world from many, many years. And also we have also a Professor Vivi from the great from the Barra Fit is going to be giving us a little bit of some news about a contest that we doing with our Barra Fit. So I'm really excited as well for that. Okay, I'm not gonna be doing this time, but I'm gonna be very excited to talk about all the people doing, and I really want to know who is going to be the champion. It's really interesting setups, and then I would like to call here Professor Vivi. How are you?
Hi, Professor Braulio. I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm very good. Vivi, so tell me more a little bit about this contest that's going on with Barra Fit.
I'm very excited. On the 31st, next Sunday, we're going to be competing for the Barra Fit 300 Challenge. First time ever, 16 Great Barra students will be competing, challenging themselves to the best time ever on the Barra Fit 300 Challenge.
Oh, that is pretty good. And then they already been setting up. They already know who is going to. Or you have a time to sign up. How is being the list so far?
Professor, tomorrow I'll be teaching Barra Fit at 10 a.m. PST at GB Online. And right after that class, we'll be announcing who's going to be competing on the 31st. So they don't know yet. So they're going to be online doing the class with us. And I'm sure they're very excited to hear the names from Professor Flavio and I right after the class.
Oh, that's gonna be great. I'm sure they will be focused a lot on this end. They want to pass fast this class, but it's a very good thing that you guys doing because it gets people more motivated to get to set up a goal. Because I think one of the things that we all have been missing at the moment on this period, it is the competition aspect that we cannot. It's the only thing that we cannot do that we haven't done yet. And now bringing that contest. How this idea came about, Vivi? Just a quick insight about that.
Professor, that's exactly it. A lot of GB students miss competition. All the tournaments are not happening right now. And we came up with this challenge to keep everyone active and connected. It's one more tool Gracie Barra is offering to keep these students together. And it's amazing how they embraced it. And we have received over 50 videos, students trying really hard to get into the competition on a 31st. And we're going to select only 16. But I'm really impressed how the whole team have embraced this challenge. Even the ones that haven't sent the video to us, they're trying every week. Myself, I'm one of them. I've been trying this challenge with Professor Flavio and the students here in Arizona, and really keep us challenged, healthy, connected. And it's really one more great tool we have to be healthy during these tough times.
Yeah, that's awesome. You are really, man, in the name of all the team, really thank you very much for all the effort, all the time that you guys been putting you, Professor Flavio, and guys every week thinking, planning, giving a lot of time. Love you all the resenhas that you guys do is really nice, and this makes the whole team connected, and I'm sure you guys must be really proud for the job that you guys been doing.
Professor, I would like to thank the whole team, really. GB Wear is supporting the event since the beginning. We're going to be giving the GB students $300 first place $150 second place, $50 third place, two um, categories, right? So it's male and female. So Beware is supporting the event. Dollar More is supporting the event. We're gonna be giving home mats for the first places. GB Online is supporting the event. We're giving the GB students first, second, and third place an ICP course, the ICP certificate. So the professors, they're helping the students to get prepared, to get ready for this challenge. All the students, really, they're trying this challenge every week at their schools with their teammates. So it's the whole group making this happen, and I really want to thank the whole team for that.
That's really good, man. And it's the beautiful thing that I see, that I get so proud to be part of the team, is when everyone come together from all different parts of sectors of from the students to the highest rankings. It's very grateful to see being part of something so motivated, like that. And Vivi, you mentioned about a funny story. We have a little time before we start our interview with Master Nelson. Can you share something that you wanted to?
Oh yeah, my pleasure. A funny story about you? I wouldn't do that.
No, but did you have something, or not? Tell me. I want to see.
All right. So the funny story is, I want to tell everyone the day I pranked you about the Baja 200 challenge. Can I tell them?
Yes, you can. Oh my God.
So I knew Professor Braulio was not watching the live at the Baja Fit 72 the day we challenged Professor Otavio. And they're very close friends. They train together. And Professor Otavio looked up to Professor Braulio so much that when I finished the live, I called Professor Braulio and I said, "Hey, Professor Braulio, the live with Professor Otavio was awesome. He said great things about you. And guess what?" And Professor Braulio was like, "What?" "He challenged you for next week. You're gonna be doing the Baja Fit 300 live next Friday. Congratulations." And Professor Braulio's first reaction was so funny. He was like, "What? Son of a
Man, I was just thinking the pain that I was going to go through, because I will have to go through anyhow. To me, on time, we are very competitive, but man, I'm glad that I didn't. My shoulder wouldn't handle. I'm telling you, I've been trying, Vivi. I've been trying to do it, but I cannot do the close push-ups. I cannot do it with the open push-ups because my shoulders doesn't let me.
But let me finish this story, Professor.
Tell
I
me.
know people know how competitive you are. First reaction was like, "I can't believe Otavio did that to me." But right after, you were asking, "What's the time? I'm going to train. Yeah, I'm in. So it's next Friday. I'm already pumped. So what was the time for Professor Victor? And what was the time, Professor Otavio?" So you're in the challenge right away. And it's amazing to see how the whole Greasy Baja is reacting. And it's just like you did. First, of course, it's a challenge. You get scared and you want to know what is it about. But right after, we all embrace, we all do everything together. That's why we're so connected as a team. We're a big family, right? And I want to thank you for that. You also supported Baja Fit since the beginning. You still do. And I want to thank you, and I want to thank the whole team.
Oh, thank you, Vivi. But that's what it is, I think every time when you have challenges, it keeps you on the spot and motivated, and then I like challenges, even if it's hard. Sometimes I think to myself, "Oh my God, why me?" But that made me get there, and then that gets the ball rolling, and I think it's really cool. And I was speaking to Otavio on this week, and then he said, like, "Man, I didn't take my eyes off Furão's live from the beginning. I got my popcorn, I was watching, I put my timer to see if he's gonna beat me. And I'm so glad that he messed up one of the because it was 10 seconds. He could when he messed up with the exercise, that was very good. And this very positive and a very amicable challenge, because we all friends, but at the same time, we kind of challenge each other, which helps us to be on the right path and be motivated about something, especially on those times, isn't it?
Yes, Professor, I agree with you 100%. Like I said before, this competition on a 31st, we do have prizes for first, second, and third place, but the GB students never asked for it. Since they found out they would be challenged to compete to each other in a fun way and represent their schools, and they were invited by their professors. They were so excited into the challenge right away, even before they knew it was going to be prizes for them. So that's the spirit. It's a big celebration. It's just one more tool for us to be together and connected. And I think everybody got that.
That's awesome. Thank you very much, Vivi. I really appreciate for all you guys been doing for not only for Gracie Barra, not only for Barra Fit, but for Gracie Barra. Okay, sending my kisses to all the family. Big hugs to Flavinho, and I'll see you very soon. Tomorrow, I want to see who's going to be on this competition.
I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much, Professor.
See you later, Vivi. Bye-bye. Awesome. Guys, so tune in tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time to the Barra Fit with Professor Vivi. In the end, she's going to be, out showcasing the people who's going to be competing. So it's going to be really, really exciting. Okay, so guys, we're about to start our interview and chat with our first master in our chat show, Master Nelson Monteiro. So please, guys, make sure that you can interact online, you can ask questions, you can send your messages, and then we're going to be putting here on the screen. So make sure that you guys feel more connected with all the interviews. So that's the idea. I mean, not interview, our chat, really much. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our first master on the chat show, Master Nelson Monteiro. Yee-hoo!
Hi, Braulio. Hi, everyone.
It's
always it's a good time to see this guy here,
Man, you don't age, man. Look at this. Look, I was catching you up and I surprised you. What's going on?
That's the secret, my man. It's the water that I drink.
But man, you're gonna have to be Master Nelson in comma, the Peter Pan Monteiro.
It's funny you say that. Master Carlos, since I was 15, 16, he always come to me and said, "Hey, bitch, you gotta take something. How you always in shape? You always, So I listen to Master Carlos like back that time. Always give me a hard time about that. But I think it's on my gene. And also I love to work out every day. I gotta do something. That's life,
That's awesome, Master. Just a quick one, Master.
Yeah.
Can you make your phone sideways or not?
Sideways, yes.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm gonna turn.
See you better closer, so you can have a good close up, so you can figure out really the real.
It's better now.
Look at that! Oh my God!
Guys, sorry about my red face. I was training before I come to this right here. So,
man, you just started a very good subject. Like you've always very active, always on the go and keeping yourself busy. You don't have off seasons, do you?
I really don't, Braulio. To be honest, if I stay seriously, okay, if I stay, I would say 2-3 days without doing anything, my whole body aches.
It's true.
My shoulders. I saw you talk to Vivi about push-ups. Oh my God, pull-ups, push-ups. I gotta very short on my pull-ups, on my push-ups because shoulders, lower back, knees. So if I stay 2 days without doing anything, I'll be in bed in pain. So I gotta keep moving. Every day I gotta do something. Every day.
Yeah. Because pain is a sign that you are alive, right? So sometimes if you don't do nothing, you're gonna hurt, but the hurt is worse because it just get worse and worse, and it get harder to get back up. But when you have a little bit of sore pain of workout, it's a much better kind of pain.
Yeah, and I love that. I love the feeling, you know. I love the feeling. Sometimes I have students, oh, I have a shoulder problem, you're gonna take 2 weeks off. And I look at them, it's like, oh my God, are you serious right now? 2 weeks because of pain on your shoulder? You know, it's like, just keep coming, deal with your injury. Of course, when it's really bad, take 1 day off, 2 days off, but I always do something. The worst to me you can do is stay without doing anything. Always keep moving, That's the deal.
Exato. Now it's Nelsinho. A gente already passed it on. Come on. Now we cross the introduction. Let's go back to Nelsinho. My Nelsinho. Ô, Nelsinho.
Cara, even at home, look. Braulio. Even at home, look. Gracie Barnes everywhere. Tea that I'm drinking.
Compnet. Ô, Nelsinho. Cara, since the first time I met you back in Rio, you know, you've always been very active, very, you're very popular everywhere you go, and you love to go to the beach, and I remember you always been as active like that since ever I've seen. And how do you put on your routine? Did you find much difference coming from Rio to San Diego, which is not the difference, not so much apart from a little bit colder, but you carry on the same kind of routine that you used to have? Because I remember you have always a good routine ever since in Rio.
Yeah, I do have a Braulio. I don't know if you know, but I have a degree in physical education, and then I did 2 years of physiology of exercise. When I left Abu Dhabi, I went back to Brazil, I went back to college. And so I always interesting, always curious about what is it's not that I want to bring in my limit all the time. Everything I do go to my limit, right? But I always like the feeling of, can I do a little bit more? Can I challenge this, right? Can I challenge myself, right? In a sense, then, like, I used to go to Pedra da Gávea 3 times a week. Every Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays, I used to go to Pedra da Gávea, come down, go back home, have breakfast, and then spend like hours, literally hours, playing foot volley at the beach, right? This is on my weekend. And then Monday through Friday, every single day I was in jiu-jitsu, and I was doing weights in the morning if I could, you know? And I always been active. So when I came to US for the second time, one of the things that I really I miss is the Pedra da Gávea, the workout, the feeling. By the way, I had the best time of Gracie Barra in Rio. No one could beat me at Pedra da Gávea. By the way, let's continue. My time at that time, because now a few years ago, they kind of changed the route of the Pedra da Gávea. But at the time that Master Carlos had the team, the first Gracie Barra team, so we used to fight tournaments. We used to go every Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays to Pedra da Gávea. And I have the best time of all the competitors, every single one from Gracie Barra. But keep going. So I came to US, and then I have a stairs here. It's called the Swamis Beach. And I try to go to Swamis Beach. Yeah, to do the stairs like at least 3 times a week. That's what I do. I kind of like cross-train a little bit, weights, jiu-jitsu, stairs, running the beach. So if I can, I go surf.
When you go on the stairs, do you go like just walking? You don't need to go speeding up, right? Or you kind of...
Depends on the day, bro. Some days, it's like training, right? When you pass that phase of always competing, some days you feel good, I go train a little bit harder. Some days I just roll, I want to roll. So it's the days. If I feel like today is the day, I go really for time. It's like I want to go 15 times as fast as I can. Some days I just go walk and just, relax just for the sweaty, and that's it.
The importance is to be active, isn't it? It's the secret, really, right?
It is.
I think one thing that I do realize with myself anyway, because I'm always very active. I'm actually a little hyper, as you know, all the time doing something, always excited. And even my diet, for example, I think I don't really feel much of a, if I change my diet a little bit here and there, as long as I'm active, I don't really feel much of a difference because if you if you on the go and active, you burning and your body is always like refilling all the time and it burning out.
No, I believe that too. Especially, I think the secret, especially living for years with Master Carlos, you learn a lot from your diet, right? Because of his father passed on to him, and so he knows a lot about diet. And I always watch what I eat, right? I don't eat red meat. I'm not saying red meat is bad here, okay, guys? So please, but I don't eat red meat. Since January this year, I stopped eating everything from any kind of meat. I don't eat. I'm sorry. I still eat fish sometimes, but no more chicken, eggs, or any of the animal stuff besides fish. Yes.
Did you find difference?
What's it? Braulio, to be honest, I did not. I believe like if you have a really bad diet and then out of the blue you change completely your diet, yes, you're going to feel, oh man, I feel much better, right? Because you came from a really bad diet to a good diet.
Yeah.
I had already a good diet, so it's kind of like I didn't feel at all. To be honest,
exactly. That's what I meant. You know, like that's the same thing as what I was doing because I never eat bad. My diet was very kind of in the balance, you know, average. Not too much of a rubbish, not too much of too good, like a very strict, but always eating as clean as possible. So that's why probably I haven't noticed. Like if I eat a burger today, but tomorrow I'm eating back to my the clean diet, I really don't feel as long as I'm exercising. What I notice for me when I feel the worst is when I stop exercising, and then I can even eat clean. I can be eating very clean, the cleanest that I could do. If I'm not exercising, then I feel the difference.
Yeah, that's what I do too. I have my days, pizza. Like I like to take one day of a week if I feel like. Of course, it's not that I have to. I take my days. So today is the pizza, is the ice cream. But it's part of life. You gotta live.
Of course.
So,
it's all about the balance, right?
Yes, that's the secret.
Nelson, we've during our journey, we've always been, we joke because you are like much more experienced than us. You started before all of us, and but you always hang out with us because you are a young soul. You are awesome friend. You are a happy guy. Everywhere you go, you spread positivity, always smiling, making people smile around you. So it's good to be around you. It's I never see you upset. Always like very happy, and we always joke around, and. I remember that we have always been joking about, Master Nelson going to become a master when we wasn't like a year ago. And then no, I'm not going to be, I don't want to use I'm going to keep my black belt. Now you have the core belt. How I want to know, how did you feel when you got it? Because you got to the summit. And how was to get that core belt from Master Carlos Jr.? And at first, how was when you were wearing it, and then if it has changed, if you have incorporated already, you know what, I am a master. Do you feel like it?
Braulio, yes. First of all, receiving a belt from at that level of the belt, right? Sometimes people say, "Oh, belt is just to tie your gi around you." I don't believe that. I think belt means a lot. Means that accomplishment that for the years that you dedicated to jiu-jitsu, means that your life changed somehow through jiu-jitsu. There is no way you're gonna get a black belt, a stripes on a black belt. That you gotta be, especially from Gracie Barra, you gotta be a good guy. You gotta, because otherwise you can't keep going on the field. Remember you say sometimes it's not a bad guy. I don't want to say a bad guy, but sometimes some people come to our school to train, and then you feel their vibe, and then you're gonna let this guy train here. Yes, because you know what is gonna happen. Sooner or later he's gonna leave because he's not gonna fit in. People has that thing. So receiving a belt, I think, means a lot, and receiving especially a coral belt from Master Carlos. If you see, if you go back in time, right, and let's say if you did Kung Fu, and it would be an honor for you. Imagine you receive a belt from Bruce Lee. Imagine if you go in judo and you have the chance, the opportunity of a lifetime to receive your belt from Jigoro Kano, you know, and had the opportunity to receive my coral belt from Master Carlos, the guy that I studied when I was 14 years old, you know, until, you know, I'm 52, and receiving his coral belt from him. It's so much. I don't have word to describe the feeling that day. I was emotional. I had in my mind, I'm not gonna cry, man. I'm not gonna cry. And then, you know, they call me right there in front of him and receiving from him, and being around of all you guys. You know, it was a unique moment. It's a moment that I'm gonna take to my life. I think I believe that a life is about moments, right? And this is what a life is all about to me. It's about moments, and that moment, it's like no one can take away from me, and I'm gonna carry till I die. So that's the importance.
That's awesome, man. And it must feel, you know, it's such a big accomplishment, you know, like, because it's such a big gap between once you get the black belt to become a master. It's a huge gap, because, you know, it's only you know, the amount of the time that takes to get each degree. I don't know if it calls stripes as a black belt. I call degree. It takes time, you know, and then when you stop to realize the amount of time you have been training, it is incredible, you know. And then, as a Professor Flávio Almeida said, that promotion was epic, you know. So many black belts, everyone from all over the world, was really something very special. Now, see, we're gonna start with the very first video here. On the way that we work on this chat show, we get some people that you know, friends of yours, and you know, talk a little bit about the story and ask a question. So we're gonna start here with our first guest here.
Oh, man.
Monteiro. You have a long history in Jiu-Jitsu, and among other things, you were one of the pioneers to begin Jiu-Jitsu in the United Emirates. All the development we see today in Abu Dhabi is in big part due to your efforts. And you also were one of the pioneers bringing Gracie Barra to California. I know in the early days, Kendall was just a little girl training at your school with her dad. Magidinho was just a little boy going with his dad to train at your school. And you saw our team growing from a very humble beginning to now over 40 Gracie Barra schools in the state of California, making Jiu-Jitsu reach to the lives of thousands of people in that state. So I have a question for you. It's a two-part question. One is, what would you like to see us professors doing in California in order to protect what you have built together with Master Carlos and the entire team? And also, what would you like to see us doing in order to further the vision of bringing our Jiu-Jitsu to everyone in the state of California and keeping the legacy of Master Carlos Gracie Jr. and Gracie Barra strong in that state? Take care, my brother.
Thank you, Professor Márcio Feitosa. Marcio, I see the two questions that you did, they kind of linked to each other. Why? The way I see it, okay? I believe that until we die, we gotta learn. We're in the process of learning. We need to learn, right? Every aspect of life. So every day you wake up until you go to bed, we gotta learn. Every day you gotta learn something, right? And what you said, keep the legacy. Let's put this way: keep the legacy of Gracie Barra, Master Carlos, his family alive, and the growth of Gracie Barra here in California, specifically, right? You asking about California, is continue learning. I think the big mistake of a jiu-jitsu instructor is stop learning, right? If you go to a dentist, let's say the guy had his degree back 10 years ago, and he believes he's still doing the same procedures until nowadays, there is a lot of, yes, it's still the same, but a lot of new things still coming up, right? And I believe jiu-jitsu, it's so much information nowadays. I see from my time, right? The beginning of Gracie Barra in Brazil, I was there. And the beginning of Gracie Barra here in US. And today, we see like ICP, we see Barra Fit, we see GB Online. Look what the GB Online is doing with this epidemic of, coronavirus, what's going on in the world. And GB North America, GB Online step up and came with, try to help us in any matter, any, solutions that we can have, any problems that we can have at the school with the things going on. So it's so much information that a Gracie Barra nowadays give us that we got to keep learning. And for you to have a successful school today, Gracie Barra, you need to learn. You need how to do things. You need how to behave yourself, how to teach a good class. You got to go to the mats and see what's the new techniques coming up, what is going on. At least you know what you do to your students. If they ask you about the specific technique, doesn't mean that you have to be specialized on the technique, but you need to learn. You need to know what you do. And this goes to all the aspects of the school as an instructor, the way you behave, the way you talk, the way, because you have followers. Right, Master Carlos tried to pass to us, hey, here, you guys gotta help me now. Let's do jiu-jitsu for everyone. Look at the jiu-jitsu for everyone, right? Today in schools, if you go back in that time, only men's doing jiu-jitsu inside the Gracie Barra. Nowadays, it's kids, it's family class, it's women. Gracie Barra Encinitas, we have 40 something women training. This is amazing. The power of jiu-jitsu for everyone that Master Carlos' vision had, and we, still carry on. And I believe sooner or later, every single city, it's happening already, right? But literally every single city in the world is going to have a Gracie Barra Jiu-Jitsu school. Jiu-Jitsu for everyone. And to us to be able to do that, keep learning, folks. Keep learning every single day. That's my opinion, Márcio Feitosa. What you asking me is keep learning. That's the secret to have a very strong and every school here in California.
And keep young.
And keep young, always.
Nelson, how was that? That first idea of leaving Rio, because Rio, it's a paradise, right? Especially the time that you actually left. I mean, it was been a long time. You were the first, probably, I think it was the first one, right? The first Gracie Barra in California. How did it came about? What there was an influence of someone, or you just decided to go out for another country and explore?
Braulio, like I said, I finished college. I was 22, 23 years old, and I sold my car, and I decided to come to California to surf, to get to know United States. And I came and I fell in love with this place here, especially to Encinitas, specifically this little city that I live in here in California. And I fell in love with Encinitas, and I kept staying. Then I started working a little bit on my visa at that time. And from that, I ended up going to Abu Dhabi. I met a sheikh at my school, believe it or not. But That's when I came to US and I decided to stay. I love it. I fell in love with this place, Braulio.
That's awesome. I think who doesn't, right? Who doesn't?
Oh man,
It's
I
beautiful.
love it here.
It's very close to the vibe as well from Rio.
Yes.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar. The beach, the lifestyle, and more organized as well. A little bit.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
so how one story that was really funny that like you were very responsible for the ADCC. I know a lot of people might not know that, but you met Sheikh Tarno in California, and this story was really really interesting on how you found out he actually was a sheikh. Because it sounded like that movie, The Prince in New York, like with Eddie Murphy. And can you just do a little bit of a resume of how was, because you were worried about him, and then suddenly you realize, come to my place, come to my palace. Tell the story, because it was so interesting.
No, but Márcia Carlos always used to say that when you have a school one day, you're gonna see that the power of jiu-jitsu is that we can have, it's like a community. Everything that you're gonna need in your life, you can find inside your school. And always I grew up like listening to him saying that when you grow up, you're gonna see that if you need a plumber, you're gonna have a plumber at your school, right? If you need a lawyer, you're gonna have a lawyer in your school. If you're gonna need a dentist, you're gonna have a dentist at your school. Guess what? That's exactly what happened, right? And the thing is too, Braulio, you never know who's going to walk through your door, right? Never judge anyone by color, by if the guy's strong, if the guy's short, if the guy's dressed well or not, because everybody is the same. As you got to see everybody as, a human being. And that's my thing. Everyone that I used to walk at that time in my school, understand, this is we're talking about in 1991. Roughly 91, 92. No jiu-jitsu in San Diego, right? So today, if you talk about jiu-jitsu, everybody knows about UFC, so it's much easier, right? So always I say, guy walk in, I say, here's the gi, let's go to the mats. Because doing this, they don't know what jiu-jitsu is all about. Brazilian, they could not even pronunciate the name jiu-jitsu what, so I was already tired of that. So I decided everyone that walk in my school, hey, here's the gi, nice to meet you, let's go to the mats, right? So Tarnum came that day with Guy Navens, which is a guy that it's a friend, but at the same time, he does a lot of things for Tarnum. Anyway, so they came in, I gave the gi, both of those guys, I took them to the mats, and of course, I was all over them, choking on bars and laughing, and he fell in love with the school, with jiu-jitsu. And but I never knew who he was, right? He used to come to the school and train, and sometimes the end of the class, he used to go and clean the mats, believe it or not. I know he's cleaning with the broom, cleaning the school, and I said, oh my God, right? But and then after about a year, he made me a business proposition. That's when we went to a lunch. And he called me and said, I need to talk to you. Can we have lunch tomorrow? I said, yeah, no problem. And then at lunch, I used to call, his name is Ben here, used to be Ben. So always Ben here, Ben there. And then at that lunch that day, he said who he was. And then he's like, my real name is Sheikh Tarnum Ben Zayed Al Nahyan. I was like, what? What? Say again. And then that's when he told me who he was. And then he made him a business proposition. He said, I want to continue training jiu-jitsu, and I want you to come over and keep teaching me. That's how I ended up in Abu Dhabi.
Man, so cool. It's interesting. How was the experience to live there? It's completely different than the lifestyle that you've always had, right? Because it's like the lifestyle that you had in Rio is pretty much what you have now. And as first place you went to California was Encinitas, and you there until now, apart from just that period that you spent on the Middle East, which is especially back in the time. It's not like Dubai the way that it is now, Abu Dhabi the way that it is now.
Exactly.
It's completely different. So it must have been a big shock for you.
Was. I remember when you, before you closed the deal, he asked me to spend a week in Abu Dhabi to see if I like it or not. So I remember I went there for a week. And so I was expecting like desert, tent, camels, right? It's like Abu Dhabi. Think about, we're talking about 1991, 92, guys. Right, so I went to Abu Dhabi, and then I remember like leaving the airplane, and it was like, wow, nice buildings, and nice roads, and even now it's I went there about 7 years ago. Oh my God, it's completely different from my time. But I remember going there, spending a week, and then when I came back, we closed the deal. But it was kind of shock to me, shock in a good way, like wow, how advanced they were. It's like Brazil. Sometimes you talk to people and they say, oh, there's a lot of monkeys in Brazil. There is a lot of, it's kind of like, yeah. But it was kind of shock, But I love it. I love it.
It's part of the experience, huh? But
Yeah.
you should, for sure you are beach boy. You like that scenario. You stood better in San Diego, man. And it was very very important that too. Now, see, we have one more question here. Come on, Tony, can you put it up on the next question, please?
Hey everyone, this is Steve Gable, a black belt under Nelson Monteiro. Nelson, my question for you today is this. After competing and teaching at such a high level for so many years, where do you think that drive came from, and what still motivates you to do that today?
Steve Gable.
Awesome question.
That's
everyone wants to know.
Friend, he's a brother.
What's the secret?
Brother, I always like why I like to still to compete. First of all, when I left Brazil, that was when it started the Worlds. So my time when I used to compete, the tournaments, the biggest tournament we had was a company. It's called the company tournament, right? Was a big store in Brazil. And then that one was like the Brazilian, the nationals. And of course, I used to compete on that one. And then when I left Brazil, I never had a chance to fight like in the worlds, like, we have today, like you, Braulio, won many times. And I always have that feeling like I needed to fulfill that how can I say, the moment that I used to go to the pyramids and watch you guys, and it's like, wow, I never had the opportunity to fight the worlds, and always, it's not that I regret, but I think it was the moment, and I didn't have that in my time because I was already out of Brazil. Then I was, starting the school here in San Diego, United States. And then, of course, end up in Abu Dhabi. Then I put Abu Dhabi team. I'm the one that started the whole Abu Dhabi GCC. So, and then when the Masters came, it was International Masters. I was like, you know what? I got to go back to Brazil and fight the Masters because, I always thought that I could win those tournaments. I believe if that time I could fight the worlds. Even then, guys, think about it. What I'm going to think about now. What I'm saying is, my mind, yes, I think I could win my time. That time, if it was the world, I think I will have a shot to win the worlds, right? But I did not have the chance. So when my International Master came, I remember going to Brazil, and I said, I have to fight that just to have the feeling of. And then I went there, I won. And then no more international. I still going on actually international master, but then IBJJF came with the world master, right? So I said I have to fight that too, I still have it, And of course I won 2 times, and I fought 3 times, and I won 2, and I lost in the finals on the other one, but. It's just, I have that thing sometimes I want to go there and test myself. I think World Masters is so like nice, but that's how I end up. Answer your question, Gabe. I always have that thing just to go there and test myself. That's all, Without pressure of I have to win. Of course, always if I feel I don't have a chance to win, I'm never going to participate. But always I want to test myself, go out there.
Yeah, it's important to test yourself. It's challenging, makes the journey more exciting. Yeah, give a little bit more meaning. You get more, give more drive to do what you already do. But sometimes, when you don't have when you don't set a goal, don't set a challenge, it can become a little bit difficult to get motivated to do things, right? And I use that as well. Like nowadays, I don't compete on the professional level anymore, but I put the challenge of my students competitions for me to be in shape so I can train for them so they can go there and represent and do well. But it's very important to always keep testing yourself. I think keeps you on the spots, isn't it? On the goal.
I believe that too, brother. I believe it's like those days you have. You always have those tough guys at the school. You know those guys that go 100%. And sometimes those days you feel like you need to test yourself. You want to go out there and train harder with those guys. And I think that's what keep you going, and we need that.
Exactly. Now, Nelson, a question. Coming out of jiu-jitsu, and you already mentioned that you like football. And do you still practice football there in San Diego or not?
No, because of my neck, bro. My neck is really bad. It's like I can't. I train or play football, but I can't do both anymore. So
how about? I remember, like when I went there to academy the last couple of times, you were doing like there was a raffle. There was something with outside. Went to the pub. We had some. I even won a UFC glove that I still have here, signed by Vitor Belfort. Oh yeah, and you always do something outside. You like to be very outgoing. What apart from jiu-jitsu do you like to do? Like that's in kind of hobby, or what kind of your past? What Nelson likes to do when he's not thinking or doing jiu-jitsu?
Braulio, I do weights, brother. I believe that we can't do what we do without weights. It's not to just look good. Of course, you always want to look good. It's not about the looks. Don't say about the looks. It's the looks. Come on. But the main reason is that is to keep us strong. Our shoulders, like you said. I saw you once again talk to Vivi. You said, "Oh, my shoulder." It's the only thing that is going to maintain you training. And I know you do weights too. Is to keep that shoulder strong, to keep the socket in place, right? If it's your knee, you need to keep your leg strong to maintain strong the knee so you can continue train. And nowadays, I think the weight is the key to keep us going. If you don't do weights, I'm sorry, you're gonna sooner or later you won't be able to do what we do.
How about music? Do you like music, or do you like to? What's your favorite music?
Yeah, I'm a singer. I don't know if you know that.
Well, what's your favorite band? What's your favorite band?
I like to listen to music, especially in the morning when I'm making my coffee. Sometimes I go.
What favorite band do you like?
What's that?
Favorite band. Music band.
Braulio, for years, I love U2 band. Old school bands, U2, The Police.
On that same, Professor, can you just stop there? Tony, can you put it on the next video, please? Because I think we're going to find out a little bit more about Master Nelson here.
Oh my God.
Hey guys, it's Professor Dave from GB Encinitas. And
oh my God.
I'm one of the instructors for the kids program. And I wanted to tell you guys a little bit of information about Master Nelson that I don't think that you guys already know. So many guys who know Master Nelson know that he's like super disciplined. Where the guy, like, since he was a little kid, training jiu-jitsu, and he like works out 7 days a week, training jiu-jitsu, going to the gym, doing the stairs for cardio, eating super healthy all the time. But what I don't think many of you know is that Master Nelson in my opinion, I think Master Nelson secretly inside, he wants to be an entertainer. Now, I'll give you a couple of examples of why I think this is true. First of all, if let's say a group of us are going to go out at nighttime, down Encinitas and downtown is really nice, lots of restaurants, lots of clubs and bars, or if we have a party, if we have a karaoke, like the karaoke mic, if you hand that microphone to Master Nelson, whatever we were doing before that part of the night, that part's over.
You guys
That's
killing
done.
me.
Now it just karaoke night with Master Nelson because he knows every single song by the Police and he knows every single song by U2 and he's going to do every one of them. I mean, it could literally be you have a party for like a UFC fight night and they're about to start the main event. If you hand him the microphone, UFC fight night is over. Now it's just Master Nelson karaoke night. Okay. Second of all, he's actually pretty good at this. He's pretty good at doing impressions of people. But he doesn't do like impressions of like famous actor or famous politician. Usually his impression is going to be like of his students. So, and if he does an impression of you as a student, usually means he likes you. So, but he does some crazy ones, man. We got this one guy that we all know and love, and he's always doing the impression of the way he eats. So he'll talk about how the guy sits down with a giant bowl of food and just like start eating like an animal, man. A guy who eats so crazy is going to eat like his own hand off. Oh my God. He's got another one he does of a guy where if we go to the gym and maybe we're pushing some weights and how the guy, as soon as he's done with like doing a set of bench press, how he stands up and he does a great impression of how the guy walks around all chest puffed out. White gorilla. We love you, buddy. He even does gotta have to admit, he does a pretty good one of me where sometimes if we're training and he gets like super bad grip on me, he always does this one of me overreacting. How I'm gonna grow. Oh my God, it's pretty true. But anyway, so that's just a little information regarding Master Nelson, the entertainer. And remember, guys, if you meet Master Nelson, just be on the lookout because eventually, odds are, he's probably going to be coming for you. Okay, guys. Later, guys.
Oh, Kifigo, what a character! But man, he described you very well how he used to be around you, because you always fun. You always like making jokes, making people laugh. And before you, I don't know if you're gonna want to do the impression of the guy eating here, but I want to know your passion for music. And so karaoke is a good night out with Master Nelson, huh?
It's, it's sometimes you have a glass of wine and you feel like, but it's I don't know a lot of songs, but I like sometimes to
Just
sing.
all of the choose.
Actually, I pretend that I'm singing. That's the difference of being a good singer, and I'm not. I'm just David. He's a crazy guy. He's a crazy guy.
Yeah, but it is funny. I remember, like, we went to. You remember that the party that we went and in the Encinitas with all the group that we were doing the raffle? What wasn't a raffle? Was it? What was that? I forgot. Then I got the gloves.
Bingo.
I was the bingo. The bingo.
Bingo. Yeah.
I know you guys, you fucking, you guys always hang out together and do always out off school stuff and always very, very fun, and it's very remarkable how to see how the team that you run over there are so connected. You can see even how your students talk towards you. They feel like part of the of the family for many years. And what strikes me on that party was how you went and make everyone feel comfortable and feel valued, and then gave the same amount of attention to everyone who was there. There was no one that was feeling left out, and then that takes a lot of charisma, and that's takes a lot of effort, and also reading the scenario that we had to keep everyone included. So it's like, how is this? How do you make that? Why do you do this so well? What makes you motivate to get this kind of everyone bond and keep everyone included?
Braulio, this is one thing that we do here at Gracie Barra Engineers. One of the last Compinet that we did, I was talking to Ana Laura, Professor Ana Laura, and she said, "What is the secret of GB Engineers, right?" And I don't believe this is a secret, because most of you guys that I know, I think Jiu-Jitsu give us that, right? It's the outgoing and, good vibe. And I think that's what Jiu-Jitsu is all about. But is that we do a lot of social things here at GB Engineers. And this is definitely, we always, if you notice, when you put it out there, some advertising on social media, is always GB family. Not just, we call GB family as a whole too, but it's, I think that we do at GB Engineers is always call family and doing social things with them at least one or twice every month. And I was talking to Ana Laura, I think that's one of the secret that, we are over 500 students here. And I think that is one of the reasons, right? Because it's many that we, reaching the numbers that it's been so good for us. And we believe that the social and the way, like I said before with Sheikh Tarnoum, is the way we got to treat everybody the same way, right? It doesn't matter, like I said, the color of the skin, religion, politics, or, everybody got to be treated the same way. So I think that's the secret that we have, right? And eventually success comes with that.
Yeah, it's the way that we kind of connect and welcome everybody, independent of what they do, but by who they are. It's pretty cool, and what goes through our team, because it's where everyone levels up, isn't it? There is no good looking or ugly, fat, skinny, religion, politicians, or race. Is everyone level by who they are, and because in everyone is different, and everyone is accepted by how they are. And then that's why we get very attached to the family, because it's like a family that we chose instead of just learning to it. And then you accept by who you are. It's a big thing, I think, in our academy. That's what comes down to the jiu-jitsu for everyone. It's completely different how it used to be back in the day. I remember, it's just like before. It's like you go there, it's like putting yourself on a shark tank, and then whoever survives, okay, you can get a beat, so you are now part of the team. It's completely different than what it is now. And taking that point, Nelson, how do you think this difference, how much made the importance of the growth of the sport in worldwide, like from how it was, and how Gracie Barra made a big change of how to bring jiu-jitsu for everyone?
Yeah, I believe that is still the seeds is already there, right? Now is the to me is the matter of we continue the path that we are, and I think organically we're gonna grow, right? Organically, you're at your school, at my school, and Professor Márcio Feitosa, Professor Flávio Almeida, Professor guys that I know that from that school is going to have good seeds for us to continue growing and bring jiu-jitsu for everyone, every region, right? I know it's guys that is gonna know the spirit, the sense of jiu-jitsu, the jiu-jitsu that we have, jiu-jitsu that Master Carlos gave to us. And I believe that the growth, we can, even if you want to now, no, we don't want to let that go anymore, it's too late, because jiu-jitsu, especially Gracie Barra, the way you teach, the way we are so organized, and it's out there. It's in the it's in the chain, you know. Nobody can lick the chain anymore. It's so strong. That's the way I feel about Gracie Barra. We're so strong nowadays that it's a matter of time to literally be in every corner, every street, every neighborhood, we're gonna be all over. So some people say, "Oh, the sky is the limit." There is no sky for Gracie Barra. We're gonna take over. We're gonna pass the benefits of jiu-jitsu that we learned, that we bring it to our daily life, right? We gotta pass this on until I die. We're gonna continue doing what a Master Carlos passed to me, you know.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I was talking to Master Carlinhos the other week. You know, I'm trying to get more in contact with him because I've always feel so much peace when I talk to him. I'm also motivated. And then we were talking about, so like pretty much being proud for what Gracie Barra is doing, especially on this moment. You know, it's like it's amazing how we have been connected through all that, and it's crazy how this movement has been gone very strong. And he came to me and said, "Braulio, but look, when you do something that's everything for jiu-jitsu, this is what Master Carlinhos said. Jiu-jitsu is for me is what is my purpose. Yeah, is my love. Is the thing that I love doing it, and I want I wanted to create something that is like it was. I would be able to pass it on to my son if I love my son, and then how I could create something that I could pass to my son. I would do everything with passion, with love, and the best as I can. You know, it's like you making a juice, like for yourself. If you want to make a juice, you're gonna get the best fruits. That's exactly his words. You know, his metaphors. You know, if I want to make my juice, I'm gonna make all the best grains, the best, coconut water, the best piece of the fruit of that is, and I make a juice for me. If I make something with that same love, the same caring, to pass it on, it's gonna be well valued because it's something positive. When you do with a positive mindset, things just conspires to make it happen. Because and that shows how much he's very giving, because he's a guy that he has his purpose. He knows his purpose. He has his vision, and then he managed to pass it on the vision in a way that we could see and follow, and also learn to do similar, to try to make the best as we can to pass it on the message to people around our community. And that's why Gracie Barra is so special.
Yeah, I believe that too, bro. I have a thing that I talk to myself is that when you walk somewhere in school and the guy is being open teaching jiu-jitsu for, let's say, 10 years, and you walk in the school, you don't see a lot of high belts, something's not right with the school. My belief, okay? Because you're supposed to have, if you really pass the sense, the spirit of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the Gracie Barra, the things that we learn, that, there's no way you guys, people, once here, one there leaves you. That's part of the game. That's part of the business. We know that, right? But when you see a lot of high belts at your school, means you're doing a really good job, right? And then another thing that I always ask is, like, I look at the students and those black belts, and how many of those guys have changed their lives through jiu-jitsu, right? And it's like the chain again, passing to us, and then we'll continue passes that they still train. And I know for a fact I changed that guy's life, right? Through jiu-jitsu. And we have the tools to change people's life. And one of the things I believe too, we need to help. That's our main goal here, is to help. And if you can help through jiu-jitsu, is the best feeling, you know. I know a guy that I have students that are addicted to steroids, anabolizants, and they stop doing because of jiu-jitsu. I know guys that are used to smoke, that are used to drink every day, guys that was alcoholic. I know guys that was in really bad shape physically, heart problems, this problem, and then through jiu-jitsu, they changed their lives. You see guys that had a depression and then came to jiu-jitsu, and we help him. You see, so I always pay attention to that. I think the feeling that we have of seeing this, the transformation of those people through jiu-jitsu, that money cannot buy. You know, that's what make us keep going and until we die. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, and that's it. You know, like it's. I like when I speak to Master Cardenzi. He says like it's something that he wants that's gonna still progress beyond his lifetime. You know, so it's not something that he's gonna stop when he dies. And this is pretty much the same kind of way I see this, to keep the legacy alive, to have something that is bigger than yourself. It's pretty strong, and that's why, you know, having people like leaders like you know, be pushing the ship, leading the ship. It's as leading by example. Is pretty inspiring. And then on that take, Nelson, how do you feel like when you? What does it mean to you to wear like the red shield, that like the uniform? Like how do you feel? What it means to you?
Bro, it means everything. It means my life. My life is on it. You know, it means that I'm carrying the red shield is my life. It's like I'm putting my life on my life. You know, and I'm proud of that. Gives me the sensation of, you know, well-being, and, you know, it's like I said, it's everything to me. It's respect, it's honor, it's pride, anything, any you know, word you can find out there. That's the feeling that I have. I'm so proud of to be part of Gracie Barra all those years. You know, I think when you see, it's not that you know me and I, you know, but when you see a guy that started from 14 years old and today he's a coral belt inside the Gracie Barra, you know, and I have my beliefs, I have my, you know, and anytime on my journey, I felt like, you know what, this is not for me anymore. This is, it's every time I feel like so energized. I feel so like Gracie Barra is so good. It's so, you know, that I think tells you everything, especially for the newcomers. And I think it's a perfect example. When I said today here, when you go to someone's school and then you don't see a lot of high belts, when the guy's been there at least for 10 years, something's not right. Is the same when I see, when you look inside Gracie Barra and you see a lot of black belts in the organization, started from white belt to coral belt, means Gracie Barra is doing an amazing job, man. This is the place you want to come, you want to stay and dive, you know, for Gracie Barra. And that's what a Gracie Barra is all about.
Man, it's beautiful. You know, like I'm asking this question because the other day, someone asked me this question, and you know, it's such a mix of feelings, right? Because it's so broad, you know. And then I was thinking to myself, you know, and when I wear the red shield, I feel like the responsibility to be on my best self. You know, I feel the responsibility to be the best version of myself. You know, to lead by example. You know, and when I went enter on the mats wearing the red shield, I feel stronger. I feel like there's a bunch of all our teams pushing me on the shoulder and feel very motivated. And that become the challenge that you mentioned before about the competition. You know, like that's something that you kind of have that drive and get a little bit that motivation. You know, I think nowadays, you know, I don't compete as much, but I think by wearing, when I wear my uniform, when I'm representing the team, it is that motivated to keep myself on the right path, on the good path. Like what you said, like we have make so many big impacts on people's lives, right? We help people get out of a addiction. We get people get out of a depression. We gave a direction, a north to people that was completely lost, and that's why they are so thankful. And then on that take, I would like to get everyone here, guys, whoever is watching this, tell what it means for you to wear the red shield. Put on the chat, and then we're gonna be putting on that. That's go on.
Braulio, just take your what you said about the red shield, right? When you put on the red shield, you go to competition. But I know that you know that, and I know that you specifically competition. But being a black belt, especially on the Master Carlos, means more than just the competition aspect, right? It's because you can behave well, you can put a red shield, go to a competition, do well, but in your private life, you not behave well the way you behave when you go fight. And I think jiu-jitsu, I think we as like you said, you lead by example. I think you being a black belt, being under Master Carlos, under Gracie Barra, representing Gracie Barra, it's all aspect of your life, right? It's the way you dress, it's the way you respect people on the traffic, you respect people on the street, right? You do not. It's on your daily life that we bring the benefits of jiu-jitsu. We got to behave ourselves, right? It's not just in that moment when you go to competition, because you're beyond of just competition. But that's what I want to just complement what you said.
Yeah, like when I said like the responsibility of becoming my best self is on that. It's as a person, as a reference, as a leader, as a professor, as a student, as an athlete, and as a member of the society. So people, I do feel, like it's crazy because I do behave much more when I'm outside on the streets, when I'm wearing when I wear my red shield, like my t-shirt, right? If I'm walking, I think more than twice of doing something silly just because I feel like I am representing our team. I'm representing. I am a member of something that's beyond myself, and then I feel the responsibility to be my best self in that moment, so people can, in respect to what I am representing. You know what I'm saying?
It's like people think that movie stars, they don't poop. Yeah, they poop like everybody else, right? It's like jiu-jitsu instructor. Yes, we have. There's nothing wrong. You go and have a beer, with some students. You're not getting drunk. You're not. That is right. You go and we are human beings. It's like I remember at the summit here, Professor Draculino was saying about Master Carlos. And he said about Master Carlos eating a sweet. He had the doce de leite, and Master Carlos eating the doce de leite. And Draculino said, I just want to say that because Master Carlos is like a normal human being, you know what I mean? We have all those times that we're going to eat a pizza, we're going to have a glass of wine, we are human beings like everybody else. That's what I want to say. But of course, we have that. Jiu-Jitsu give us the posture that we needed to follow. We have followers, and it's nothing wrong with that,
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, Marcin, we're gonna go now for the next one more video here, which is very cool.
Hi everyone, Professor Rafael Ramos here. Me and Nelson, we have been business partners since August of 2006. So it will be 14 years now in August. But we've known each other for much longer than that. We met at the original Gracie Barra school in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Became training partners. He was actually my personal trainer for conditioning and weight training for a while when I was still competing. So we got really close, and once he came back to United States in 2005, a few months later, he called me, asked me to see if I want to join him here to help out, and we became business partners. So I have a couple questions for Master Nelson. First one, when I came here for the first time, he introduced me to the class. There was like about 25 people um, training in that class. They had just finished the warm up, and he goes like, "Hey, this is Professor Rafael, friend of mine from Brazil. I was here visiting. I wasn't even here for good. I was visiting." And he was like, "Oh, he'll be here with us for a week, training and everything, blah, blah, blah." So a quick introduction. And then he tapped me on the shoulder, walked away, and said, "Go ahead and teach the class." So that was my job interview, I guess. But I had never taught a class in English. I was looking at, back then, there was no curriculum, no nothing. So I could teach anything I wanted, but I mean, everything was blank. But my question is, why did you do that, Master Nelson? What was the intention there? And my second question is, as I said, I've known him for 20 plus years, and man, it's hard to find someone that is so consistent. I think him, Master Carlos, is the same way, so consistent with his food, his diet, his exercising. Man, for years he would eat the same thing for breakfast, same thing for lunch, same thing for dinner, sleeps at the same time, wakes up at the same time. Super disciplined on that aspect. And my question is, what is the secret to be able to sustain that for so long? That's it. Looking forward for the answers. Take care, guys. Thanks, Braulio. Bye-bye.
Foquinha. Aí. Such a good guy. I love this guy. He's one of the nicest guys that you can find in our team.
Right? That's why I brought him to here to US.
Smart.
Master Carlos said, "Bicho, why did you take Foquinha? I was going to take him and send him to US." I said, I went first, Master Carlos. What are you talking about? Foquinha is the best business partner you can ask for, brother. I trust the guy with everything, you know. No, but it was funny because he came and it was like packed. The place was like full of students, and he's like, so the Foquinha's parents were here, so we were supposed to go have lunch. So I went to the class and said, "Hey guys, this is Professor Rafael. He's from Brazil. He's gonna teach the class today." And I tapped him in the shoulder and I laughed. And so when I came back, he's like, "Oh, man, what are you doing? Why you did this?" I said, "Brother, it's like you want to teach a kid how to swim, just throw him in the water. I say, hey, survive. That's the best way to learn how to swim, right?" So I broke the ice that they're going to do that to him. It was so funny. He's so mad at me. It's like I said, discipline, you know. I think this is one thing that I have with me. I always like to work out every day. Like I said before here, this chat is I wake up thinking, what is going to be today? What is going to be the workout? Let me feel my body. Today I can go strong a little bit. I can go faster. I can go, you know, and keep it going, man. Keep moving. That's the secret. Keep moving. And then, of course, look, the skin, look at the size of the biceps. Just kidding. But, you know, I love it. I love to work out every day, do something, and train if I can, and life goes on, I guess.
That's awesome, man. I think that's the discipline is. I think this is one of the lessons that I take from my career in jiu-jitsu, because I like to take jiu-jitsu as a I use jiu-jitsu. We can all explain life through jiu-jitsu, right? What we learn in jiu-jitsu can always transfer into life. And the discipline, it was made, for example, in my competition career, what made me be able to achieve. what I get from some tournament. But if I could take this discipline and put in anything else or in everything that I do, I'm sure I would be very successful in everywhere. Any way you do. So it's very important. And talking to you and listening to you is kind of make me realize even more. Sometimes we go on a daily basis, day by day, going with the flow, and sometimes going with the flow not necessarily going to end up in the location that you want, but in the location that you're being brought to. And sometimes it's important to put yourself a little bit of a discipline or a set of a goal that you don't get out of the line to be able to keep yourself on the right track, because it's very easy to be drift away if you don't really have that line to follow. And one thing that I've always seen, and everyone very clearly see on you, is that structure, that discipline. And you can see by your academy, you can see by people around you, you can see about your shape. Man, I never seen a master in such a good shape in such a young style. That's incredible.
This is the consequence. I like to say discipline is equal to freedom. If you have discipline in your life, you have freedom. Discipline is everything. You want to be rich, you gotta have discipline. You want to be stronger, you need to have discipline. Otherwise, you're never gonna get there, my man. That's discipline awesome. Is the word. You want to be faster, you gotta train every day, run every day to be, reach your limit. And discipline to me is the word. Discipline. It's constantly in my life. So there's no secret.
You can clearly see, brother. It's paying off, and we should always take this as a very good motivation lesson for us. So now, see, we have spoken about that. Actually, Márcio Feitosa mentioned this person on his talk, and so she will want to give you a message. Just a quick one. Let's go.
What's up, guys? I have two quick questions. Back in the day, when you guys had come from Brazil and you started opening the schools in California, and I remember, being a kid with seeing all the schools in San Diego and in the South County, I want to know two things. Number one, your biggest hardship in opening new schools at that time, in a community that didn't know much about jiu-jitsu. And then number two, your best victory or your favorite memory of opening schools during that time period, and why that was so important to you guys. Thank you so much, and I am excited to see your answers.
Wow, Kendall.
She's such an amazing athlete. She's so good. She's competing well. It's so good to see her on the focus. She's so sweet and beautiful. My man, when she goes before the match, man, he's like,
we have this camp in Mexico in February, right? And I saw her training there. I was like, she's a beast. She became a beast. Oh, man, it's so cool to see her training black belt. She's so tough, dedicated student. And, Kendall was kind of hard back at that time, because, like I said, no one knew jiu-jitsu here. Was pretty much some Gracie in LA, and I was the first one in San Diego area. And it was kind of hard, plus my English, of course, it's still not good, but at least I can communicate a little bit. So, of course, I have the challenge of the language and, being here when no one knew about jiu-jitsu. And I started my garage. And then in 1993, I believe that's when the Ultimate came, UFC came. And then, of course, it was much easier to open a school. And my first school was in Del Mar. I remember going to a shopping center, a little shopping center. And from there, jiu-jitsu, it started growing in San Diego area. And but it was kind of hard, I would say, but I don't regret any moment of the hardship of opening schools. And like I said, it's amazing to see what a jiu-jitsu, what a Gracie Bar is today. And then looking back at that time, and it's amazing. And I believe the next 10, 15 years, We're gonna look back today, right? And then we're gonna be, oh man, look, Gracie Barra going in 2020, because we're gonna be like huge in 10, 15 years. So, but it was, like I said, I don't regret any moment. It was also a good feeling, you know, of seeing jiu-jitsu growing, and that time was awesome.
Yeah, that's a good answer, man. Good answer.
Yeah.
Oh, but now, Tim, do you ever used jiu-jitsu on the street for self-defense? Did you ever get in altercations? What's your take on that? No,
Yeah, you know, I grew up in Copacabana Beach, you know, back in that time, especially when I was blue belt, purple belt. We always have fights in Copacabana Beach, you know. So we playing soccer at the beach, you know, having fights. I would say gang against gang, but not gang in a good way, which is like the street that I used to hang out is called Hilário de Gouveia. And then we have a fight against another street guys, you know, one-on-one fight. And no, but that's why I said in a good way, gang is not like, please, knives and guns, nothing like that. It's just like kids getting in a fight, you know. And then in Abu Dhabi, I had 4 fights. It's crazy the way it was in Abu Dhabi. We teach in class, and then one guy comes to the school and say that, you know, he wants to challenge you. And I remember one of those fights we had a chance to have a camera, and we filmed the fight. But Abu Dhabi had 4 fights, believe it or not.
Oh no!
Yeah, 4 fights.
Really?
Then I had to use jiu-jitsu.
But you think always like you know, like we've talked before, like when you do jiu-jitsu, you start like you don't use as much as if you didn't. A lot of people, we were talking to Pimpolho yesterday on the chat show in Portuguese, and he said like when he started doing jiu-jitsu, the older he got in jiu-jitsu, the less he was needed. Of course, once you get challenged like that, that's a different story, right? That's patience that gets up until a certain time, right? But we learn a lot to be more resilience. We can handle better, and then we focus more on the NH2B training in the academy stuff. And I want to take this in here because Flavio Almeida, he has a very nice story about that kind of things. And Tony, can you put the next video here, please?
All right, team. Thank you for having me at the Gracie Barra Chat Show. It's a big honor for me to be here. I'm a big fan of you, Braulio, for the work you've been doing, making this show such an amazing experience so we can learn even more about the incredible things that happen within Gracie Barra and with the people from Gracie Barra. It's also a big honor to me to talk to a good friend of mine, my brother, a legend from Gracie Barra and from Jiu-Jitsu, Master Nelson Monteiro. For me, it's just Nelsinho. And Nelsinho is a big friend and a person that I've always looked up to for so many different regions. But it starts with his incredible energy. Man, that guy is always happy, always positive. But also, man, he's amazing jiu-jitsu. He's a great teacher and just like an incredible commitment to the jiu-jitsu lifestyle. He really seems to sees it better than most people that I know. So I want to share a story, and I want to make a question. So the story goes back to the ADCC of 2007 in Trenton, New Jersey. Very few people know this story, but that ADCC, I was bullied. It's a very odd and strange story, but yeah, one of the fighters who was off the charts crazy just decided to pick on me. And Master Nelson and I, we were competing. I was on the 88 kilograms division, and Master Nelson was on the 77. And we were sharing the room. So we were roommates for the weekend. We did all of our preparation together in California. We were cutting weight together. All of like the pre-event stuff, we did it together. I have great memories from that experience. But anyways, so it's Saturday night. It's the first day of the tournament is over. I qualified to the semifinals, and I'm sitting having dinner, chatting with everyone, fighters from all over the world. And man, this guy decided to bully me. And it's not like I'm a small guy, as you guys know. Like, I'm a pretty big guy. I like to think of myself as a tough fighter. And this guy who was, I think he was on the 66 kilogram division, decided to make fun of me. You know, I could take it for the first 5 minutes and just, man, after a while, it's like, man, hey, brother, enough, you know, don't want to hear this anymore. Stop. And he didn't stop. So I started to feel really angry. And, you know, I was 27 years old. So I didn't have the level of self-control and maturity that I have now. So, you know, I started to confront him. I said, man, do you have a problem with me? And then Master Nelson, of course, a little bit older than me and much wiser, definitely. It's like, hey, Flavio, man, not worth it, man. You have a fight tomorrow. Let this guy go. The guy was actually drunk. So I say, yeah, man, you're right. Let's go back to the room. So we finish dinner. We'll go to the room. I come back the next day, compete. I get to the finals. I ended up losing on the finals to Damian Maia. And then, anyways, we go to the hotel, big party. We all celebrating at the hotel lobby after the event. And this guy comes again and decides to pick on me again. And that day he was trashed. That night he was trashed. And then I look at Nelson and say, Nelson, man, what am I going to do? This guy is like, I told him to stop many times. What am I going to do, man? You got to stand up and do something. He's like, no, man, it's not worth it. You know, Nelson, man, unbelievable temper. He's like, let's go. I'm like, okay. So we go to the room to change. Man, the moment we leave in our room to go back down to have dinner, this guy comes. He happens that he was on the same floor of the hotel as we were. He comes out of the elevator. I'm like, oh boy. And then I look at him. I step back, right, on my safe stance. And the guy say, what's up, dude? I'm like, hey, man, what's up? He's like, me and you here right now. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, me and you here right now. Like, this is in the lobby of a pretty fancy hotel in New Jersey. And I look at Nelson. And then it was funny because Nelson, he just had enough. Like, he was like the guy saying to me not to do anything. And then he looks at me and he's like, you know what, Flavio, go get this guy. And then I walk into the guy. We have this small physical altercation. And pretty much I'm just like trying to protect myself and hold and, you know, trying to tell me, hey, man, stop this thing. And kind of like we teach on our anti-bullying classes. And anyways, we get split. Eventually the guy, hey, man, I'm sorry. You know, I was just joking and, you know, we shake hands and we'll let it go. But anyways, it was really funny to see like Nelson changing from like, no, man, don't do this. But I think we all get to a point that enough is enough, you know, and luckily nobody get hurt. It wasn't really a big deal. And we're all friends after the fact. So.
Well, there's a time, isn't it? Patience that has a limit, eh, Nelson?
That was so funny. Flavio missed one of the details of the thing. We went to the hotel because Flavio wants to grab his camera. He wants to take picture of, you know, all the friends and they're down in the lobby. And I went with him because I want to go to the bathroom. I remember. So I want to go pee. And so I went with Flavio. So I'm peeing, right? And then I see Flavio runs to the bathroom. Bloom, the door is open, the room. So he runs out. I was like peeing. I was like, oh, man, what's going on? So I go, and I don't see Flavio anymore, right? Because he turned left, and now he's in the hall of the elevator. So I can hear like, hey, man, now it's you and me. I was like, holy shit, it's a fight. So I start running to the lobby, and then the guy that was bullying him was right there with another guy. So I said, Flavio, that's it, brother. Now it's on, you know, don't worry. I will make sure this guy won't get in, jump in. And but that day it was funny. But that guy literally was bullying Flavio. You know, Flavio sitting at the table. I remember sitting at the table, you know, the last days, the competition is over. We're having a glass of beer or whatever, I remember. And the guy, bro, he was after Flavio. I don't know why, but he decided to, you know, bully Flavio, and then we had enough today.
Out of everyone, you want to bully Flavio. The guy is a machine. The guy is like, by that time, he's like complete, like a square, like a SpongeBob, you know? Oh my God.
After you know, I have to hold and say, Flavio, that's enough. Let's go. And then we went to we got inside the elevator and then it went down. But, you know, like you said, I think jiu-jitsu, Braulio, when I said, you asked, have you been used jiu-jitsu? I said, of course, when I grew up in Copacabana Beach and then a few times in Abu Dhabi. But I think jiu-jitsu gave us the tool that you one thing, you go home at night and you put your head on a pillow and you think about a situation that maybe happened that day. Let's say you're surfing, and then the guy gives you, you know, hard time in the water, and then you left the water because you were afraid of the guy. I believe that when you go down at night, or go to bed, and you put your head on the pillow, and you think about the situation, you say, oh man, I have to leave the ocean today because I was afraid of that guy. I think that's a terrifying feeling for a man. But you put your head on the pillow, and then you think, oh man, I did a really good action today. When the guy was bullying me, I just fell away from him because I know that I could hurt the guy. I know what I could have done to the guy. And then you're going to sleep like a baby, But I think jiu-jitsu gives you that power of confidence to just, hey, man, you're right. Even if the wave is yours, but you paddle away because you don't want to hurt the guy. I think jiu-jitsu gives us that,
Yeah, this is one of the like part of the jiu-jitsu therapy for your health, mind health, because it's actually we are on this week. We are on the mental health week, and it's good actually to touch this point because it's some people they are afraid of leaving the house to go to a coffee shop. Is a challenge for them, to go and talk to someone because they've been bullied so much on through the teenaging, which is a trauma, and people do make it, they feel big difference on when they start doing jiu-jitsu just for the fact that they can, if need to defend themselves. And just no even you don't even need to actually use. It's just that if you have to, you will be able. And this point that you mentioned, that when you go to bed, and then this is not something that goes through my mind when you were talking right now. I'm very fortunate to be discovered jiu-jitsu for a long time, and I never went to bed, like since I know I'm at my adult age, with that thinking, man. I cannot go there, or maybe I stopped enjoying myself because someone could actually hurt me. And this is a lot of people go through that, So it's a message out there because it can play on your mind when you have this on your mind before bed. It's a trigger for mental health problems for sure.
Yeah, 100%. There is a lot of people, like you said, bro, that has really bad issues with that, self-confidence, and especially kids too. I think jiu-jitsu is so important, It definitely is, to me, is the first sport that a parent should put in the kids. It's jiu-jitsu because there's a lot of bullying right there. It's like it's bullying on Flavio just said, look, Flavio, 27 years old. He's a tough guy, big guy, jiu-jitsu, very good, world champion. And the guy was bullying him. Imagine a kid, or it definitely is. It's a most. Every single one should go and learn jiu-jitsu. Just the aspect of self-defense.
As you said with the girls now, with there's like you have over 45 girls training in your school, in comparison to the amount of girls that used to train back then, because of all the the weight of the jiu-jitsu for everyone wasn't there yet, because it was very like shark tank all the time. And then out of us, if that is if for a girl, I don't think that is other martial arts that's more important for a girl than jiu-jitsu. I think, in my opinion, if not everyone in the world should do jiu-jitsu, but at least the girls should have that, just in case if you need it. And I'm sure by knowing, their confidence and would be through the roof, and it would make a very big positive impact on the community that we're going through. Because I know, Nelson, two girls from Gracie Barra, like friends, they don't know each other, and they both have escaped from a rape attack, and this, you know what I mean? Like, jiu-jitsu, come on, what are you going to do if you're a girl? You want to punch a 90 kg guy on the face? Do you think he's going to knock him out? He's not going to knock him out, right? But if you choke him, there's no way out, and that's how they did. It's funny enough that they got this, they don't know each other, they had the same way out. They triangle the guy, put them to sleep, and gone.
believe. Look at the level of the girls nowadays in jiu-jitsu sport. Look at the level of girls in UFC fighting. You know, imagine if I go back in time and I'll say one day the main fight of the UFC is going to be two girls fight. We start laughing. Oh man, it was a joke. Never is going to happen. And it's happening. You know, so the level uh, uh, of martial art in general, you know, for women, it's the importance of them to, you know, not just the aspect of self-defense, plus the self-defense, of course, comes with the benefits of, you know, jiu-jitsu gives you, right? Healthy, you more conscious about your body, about your mind, and, you know, comes as a package. So I think the women is going to be, you know, it's showing us that it's amazing the way it's going. It's a lot of women now interested in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You know, we have students here that we have a special class, just women class, but they don't want to train just on the women class. They want to come and train with the guys, you know, because they want to have the feeling of the pressure of how I defend this, if this really happened. And, you know, back at that time, oh my God, I would say 99.1, you know, it's all guys in the school, and nowadays it's just changing. It's amazing the evolution, you know.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. It's very, you know, promising. You know, the what's gonna happen with because is only the beginning. You know,
Yeah.
and yeah. So now, see, man, it's been awesome having you here. You know, we've been here almost 2 hours of flowing conversation. You know, Nelson, which is the first master on the chat show. Look at that, man! What a satisfaction! What a honor! You know, man. My man, you're looking great as always. Always with inspirational stories. Always motivating myself and with this contagious energy. And I would like to say, man, thanks so much for spending this time with us here. You know, everyone is very enjoying and taking a lot of positive out of all this on these times. And thank you very much for that. I really appreciate. And I'm looking forward to see you very soon on the other side of the screen. And have a great week. And thank you very much for your time over here.
Braulio, it's my honor, my man. I'm your fan. You know that, right?
We are fun of each other because you are a big boy.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, my man. Have a good one. Have a great weekend.
All right, you guys too. Bye-bye.
Awesome, guys. Man, Nelson, man, it's so many good stories together. I love this guy. He's always so positive. So good to see as well some of the faces out there. You know, from here, he's a professor from his partner. You know, Rafael Ramos, and he's from my generation. I've learned a lot from him. You know, since he built an amazing guard player, top pressure, and very technical, and you know, such a gentleman. You know, so big hug to you, Professor Rafael. And guys, just before we finish, I just want to give a quick heads up. Don't forget, tomorrow at 10 p.m., sorry, 10 a.m. PST, the Baja Feet. Uh, uh, you guys can hear me, yeah? Oh, yeah. You know, Baja Feet at 10 a.m. Pacific time with Professor Vivi. Gonna be the Baja Flex. Okay, Baja Feet Flex. And also, there will be, she will be announcing all the contenders for the challenge. That's going to be a competition that Baja Feet is doing, being well supported by our 3D logo. And this is very cool, very excited. There will be prizes and a lot of gifts for the first three uh, places of each category. Okay, and not forgetting, next week there will be pretty much Chicago is going to be coordinating with Professor Marcos Barros and Professor Escorrega, Carlos Gomes. On the Monday and Tuesday, GB2 and GB1 with Professor Marcos Barros, and then Wednesday and Thursday, GB2 and GB1 with Professor Carlos Gomes. Okay, and our chat show will be on Friday, and again, we're back on Saturday. Once again, with our chat show in English on Saturday on the same time. All right, so guys, thank you very much. Let's keep strong things. Let's keep connected. Okay, even though we are separate, but we are stronger and more connected than ever. Okay, so this is very important. Thank you very much for the message. pass it on, share with everyone, like our page, leave a share to everyone on the social media, send a message if you have anything. Thank you very much for the thing. Aí, Marcão, I can see Marcão here. It will be great and honor and responsibility to represent our team and share some knowledge and learn from all you master scholars. Thank you all. Aí, Marcão, good luck on Monday and Tuesday. Sempre obrigado por regra. And again, guys, thank you very much. This Bar Chat Show. I'll see you guys next week.